Let me set the tone for this a little bit better, actually. I'll put this on the BRB screen. And, I wrote this in high school. The year is 2023. We see a barren desert in the back of a man facing the wasteland. This is no desert. This was a city. As the camera oh wait, this is way too loud. It's stressing me out. As the camera turns the man's face, we pass by what appears to be wings on the man. This is not just a man. This is a tooth fairy. Derek Thompson, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has been a tooth fairy for many years now, but never did he expect his job to take him here. The Scorpion King, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has been unleashed for years now after a failed attempt to end his reign amongst scorpions just 3 years prior. A man named Rick, played by Brendan Fraser, because it actually is Rick from the Mummy movies, played by Brendan Fraser, attempted to put an end to the Scorpion King, but the Scorpion King was smart and cunning and managed to instead kill Rick. See, it's an alternate timeline from the Mummy universe. This resulted in the Scorpion King and his army ravaging Earth. Derek has obviously been through a lot in the past short while. His dress is torn in many areas, his wings are cut and bruised, and his wand appears as if it is on the verge of snapping in half. The Scorpion King himself is in the distance, his army of demons behind him. Derek looks at his wand and whispers to himself, "One last wish." We see Derek swing the wand and point to the sky. Suddenly, rocks begin falling from the sky, but not just actual rocks. Suddenly, very similar looking, extremely handsome, incredibly shredded men begin to appear all over the wasteland. Between the Tooth Fairy and the Scorpion King, we see Derek whisper to himself, "It has begun." The camera flies across the desert, passing by many falling rocks, and rocks. So that's rocks with a lowercase letter and a capital letter. And reaches the Scorpion King himself. "The prophecy," says the Scorpion King. "It has begun." As rocks and rocks are falling from the sky, we begin to realize who has been summoned to this dreaded universe. The rocks are as follows. Joe Kingman, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, an American Football Federation quarterback whose biggest asset is his arm and quick wit, from the game plan. Agent 23, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a secret agent for the Control Agency, a master of gadgets and cool, from the movie Get Smart. Jack Bruno, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a cab driver and reformed convict. Specialties include getting to mountains named Witch in a very short time, from Race to Witch Mountain. Captain Charles Chuck Baker, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, an animated rock. He is an astronaut for NASA and can fly spaceships, I guess, from Planet 51. Asher Sarge Mahonen, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a futuristic soldier rock, kills demons and stuff, from Doom. Hercules, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, an extremely strong man who I assume is based on the mythological demigod Hercules. Gonna be honest here, I didn't see this one, from the movie Hercules. Chief Raymond Ray Gaines, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a Los Angeles Fire Department helicopter rescue pilot. Very good at helping people escape from places when given access to a helicopter. Also quite gifted at maintaining composure during natural disasters, from the movie San Andreas. Mitch Buchanan, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a lifeguard that specializes in guarding lives. Baywatch. Smolder Bravestone, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a video game character form of The Rock, controlled by a teenager. Jumanji. With the ultimate ensemble of heroes assembled, the Tooth Fairy flies out to the wasteland and begins to count the rocks. Many of the rocks are noticeably frightened and confused. The Tooth Fairy mutters to himself, "There was supposed to be more," before interrupted by a shout from across the wasteland. "You!" cries the Scorpion King. "You think a prophecy will end my kingdom? I've built my empire by destroying prophecies my whole life. Who are you to stop me?" The Scorpion King's demons pat him on the back, reassuring the king that what he said was frightening. The Tooth Fairy, seemingly in a hurry, quickly gathers the rocks and tells them they are destined for something greater. "You've all been called here for a reason. To return to your world, you must complete your task. You must find The Tooth Fairy is cut off by the sound of his neck being separated from his body. A spear thrown by the Scorpion King had decapitated him before he could finish his sentence. "Oh my," shouts Joe Kingman. "This was not in the game plan." The Scorpion King then orders his army to charge at the rocks. The rocks are seen panicking before a faint roar of an engine is heard in the distance. Suddenly, almost ironically, the song "Rock You Like a Hurricane" as performed by the Scorpions is heard piercing through the sounds of an engine. Over the hill, a car. This car will be decided later once many different car manufacturers' offers are evaluated. The brand deal will fund the project. For now, let's assume it is a Camaro. Flies over a hill and lands next to the rocks. It's Luke Hobbs, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a master of driving vehicles from the Fast and Furious series. "Get in," yells Luke. The rocks waste no time piling into the non-specific car to get away from the incoming army of demons. "You know I could drive this too," says Jack Bruno. "Not like me, you can't," responds Luke. Luke then opens the gloved compartment of the car and switches on the NOS button. Suddenly, the car reaches the speed of sound. Guns begin firing out of the trunk at the incoming demons as the rocks slip away in the nick of time. Once all these rocks are in the vehicle, many fun shenanigans and lines happen. I promise this part will be funny. I just can't think of many funny lines at the moment. That's what professional writers are for, but rest assured this part will be funny. It's also established that the only way for these rocks to return to their home is to defeat the Scorpion King, and that if they die here, the universe gets destroyed as well. Why? Because it does. Through some poorly crafted plot device, Luke Hobbs realizes the only way to locate Dwayne is to go to a rundown training gym located in the middle of this apocalyptic wasteland. There, all the rocks find who they were looking for. It's Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock himself. This rock will be the Rock's WWE persona. The rocks try to convince Dwayne to join them to kill the Scorpion King, but Dwayne says he is retired. This is until Joe Kingman says the line, "I have to get back home to my daughter. It's my game plan." This triggers an emotional response from Dwayne. Dwayne is a family man, and hearing that Joe has a daughter brings a tear to his eye. "All right, I'll do it," says Dwayne, "but only for your daughter." Luke revs up the car and tells the rocks to pile in. But suddenly, an explosion blasts through the wall. It's the Scorpion King. He has found the rocks. "How could he possibly find us?" yells Mitch Buchanan. "There's no way he could have tracked us." This is when it is revealed that the whole time Agent 23 had been working for the Scorpion King. Just as Agent 23 is revealing his plan, Dwayne chokes him out, rendering him unconscious. Agent 23's fatal flaw was underestimating the power of a professional wrestler. The Scorpion King gets ready to kill Luke until Sarge jumps in front of the Scorpion King before he can stab him, thus ending his own life and crippling the Scorpion King by damaging his arm. "Sarge, how could you sacrifice yourself like that for me?" says Luke. "I had to, Luke. My universe didn't get received all that well, and yours makes so much money." Sarge, from the Doom movie, disappears, causing all the rocks to prepare for a battle to avenge their fallen comrade. I'm not very good at writing fight scenes, so here all the rocks would use their individual talents to work together to defeat the Scorpion King, ending with Dwayne delivering the finishing blow by pulling off his famous The Rock Bottom move on the Scorpion King. As the Scorpion King begins to fade away, the rocks realize that he was one of them all along, and that they have killed their own brother. As the rocks begin to fade away and return to their universe, they thank Dwayne for coming to their aid and hope to see each other again one day in the future. The film cuts to black, and instead of credits, one phrase is simply seen on the screen: "Vote for Dwayne Johnson in the 2024 election. Fill out your absentee ballot today." The end. And that's it. That's literally what I wrote in, I think, sophomore or junior year of high school in creative writing class. So yeah, that's the story that I wrote. So yeah, that's my movie that I wrote. Also in that class, I also wrote my Danny Phantom Kim Possible fan fiction.